All right, looks like we are live. Welcome everyone. Amber Temerity here with Embracing Temerity. And today we have the ever so awesome Megan Bailey with us of Rockstar VA Services. She's going to talk to us a little bit about what exactly is a VA, what she's got to offer, and how she got started on this path. Like myself, one of her biggest whys is the fact that she does have babies that you want to be home with, you want to spend time with, but I'll let her talk to you about that. So again, welcome Megan and baby. Like I said, if you could just start off, tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is exactly that you do, and why you got started, how you got started.
Okay, thanks. I am a wife and a mom of two boys. And since college, I have worked outside the home, your typical 40 hours a week kind of job. And to be honest, I have always been trying to start businesses, and I've dabbled in entrepreneurship the whole time because I hated it. I hated the 40 hours a week. I hated the monotony. I hated not being able to do things by my own rules. So I was always doing things behind the scenes or after hours to try to make that work. And then my husband and I got pregnant. Saved up quite a bit of maternity leave. And when it was time to go back, I tried to go back part-time. And my son was what you would call a very high needs baby. So he wouldn't take bottles. He wouldn't take pacifiers. I was his only food source. And just 4 hours was stressful for all of us. My son would pretty much cry the entire 4 hours with his dad. It wasn't even like daycare. It was, he was home with his dad, and it was driving us both. So I decided to take what had been a hobby for me, which was web design, graphic design, and technical things like that, and try to make a business out of it. So after getting on Upwork and things like that, I hadn't even really known what a virtual assistant was. I got an email from a client that I had gotten that I had done just a few graphics for, and he said, I need a virtual assistant part-time to help with my blog and my social media and things. And I said, okay, sure. And then I started researching and realizing that pretty much that's what I'd been doing the whole time. A virtual assistant, basically, they can specialize in a lot of things. It can be bookkeeping, it can be writing, it can even just be answering phones and things like that. But mine particularly has to do with technical website and social media things. So whether it's social media strategy or just posting to your social media or doing graphic design or setting up an entire website from scratch, I can do all of that. So, and that's where we are now. I'm into my third year, and this guy came along about 2 months ago, and it's just another great reason why I love working from home and making my own rules for this. So.
Yeah, I bet. I hopefully eventually will be blessed with a third child, and that's a big thing that I think of, even though we're not even at all there yet, because I myself have a high needs daughter who will be 2 in February, and she's still can definitely relate to that. Yeah. But I think about that, like what a difference it'll be not having to save up maternity leave, not having to stress out about, okay, can I take extra time off? Can we afford that? And just being able to, I know it'll be hard. I have no doubt, right now with him being 2 months, like it's got to be kind of crazy, but it's probably a good kind of crazy, right? Usually.
Yeah. Yeah. There's times it feels like I'm juggling multiple plates and I'm not sure what I'm doing, but it's good though.
Well, I think that's business and mommyhood. You're not always sure, but you got to go for it anyway. So can you tell me, I talk to my readers a lot about what Temerity is. It's about embracing your own boldness, kind of stepping into your confidence. And that's a big focus for me because I noticed a lot of us online entrepreneurs tend to be not necessarily more introverted, but we work online for a reason, whether it is staying home with kids or not having to constantly be out there living by other people's rules. So can you tell me about a time when you embraced your own temerity, stepped into your own boldness?
It really, for me, came with the birth of my first son. I am a completely, I acknowledge I am a full introvert. I like people. I just don't like people to be close all the time. And but with the birth of my first son, before I'd always rolled over and taken whatever people dealt to me. If bosses were frankly completely in the wrong, I didn't feel like I had the boldness to say you're lying or whatever it was. Once you have kids, you kind of have to, you're not doing it for yourself. You have to stand up for them. You have to do that sort of thing. And you have more on your plate than just your own well-being. It was actually pretty recently, I did have a client who, out of nowhere, health issues, but then we took a short 2-month break, so that he could get his health straightened out. And when he came back without warning, he cut my pay in half. But wanted me to still do the same work that I had been doing for him. And that was the first time in my life that I've had someone that I kind of viewed as a boss, that I didn't just simply say, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, whatever. I said, this isn't right. Like, you gave me no warning. I wasn't able to apply for jobs because they were long term, and I thought that I was coming back to my, agreed upon pay and craziness. And it was the first time that I felt comfortable doing that. So in some ways I think it was a combination of, well, this is my business, so I have the right to say something, and I have kids and their well-being to think of, and I can't just simply just because that's what you want to do. So that was an interesting, very encouraging moment for me, was to realize, wow, I can actually stand up for myself and it's okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's again a big reason why I started embracing temerity, is because I had the same experience. So that's really good. I think it's it is nice when you can kind of tap into that mama bear energy and apply it towards business. Because even if you are naturally introverted, it's still there. That power is there. And so, did it end well? Are you all?
Well, come to find out, he actually ended up terminating my contract because he found a local agency. His reasoning for cutting was that he had been told by others that he needed to hire a graphic designer. So I'm guessing that means someone who has a degree, because I have been doing this for 8+ years on and off. So this is not something new to me. And then when he did find an agency, I think he might have had some sticker shock, because they are very expensive. You're not going to find someone in the US for what he was hoping. So he ended up terminating the contract. And in some ways that was a blessing, because it really kind of kicked me in the pants of clients. Let's find, let's diversify who I'm serving. So, and if you have someone that does that when and cuts your pay or whatever, do you really want to be working with them anymore with that kind of client? So,
Right. And I know that's one thing that we had talked about previously, about kind of always nurturing your business. And I think you said not putting your eggs in one basket. So that's a really good tip, I think.
yeah.
And then, so you mentioned graphic design work. Is that a primary focus for you? Or, for me, when I'm looking for a VA, I typically, I have very set things in mind. So when somebody's looking for a VA like you, what sort of things would you hope they have in mind when hiring you?
When hiring me, that it's, for me, I think it comes down to the of having a website and having social media and needing those graphics that are, you know, branded and the graphics that fit a certain theme. This is all three of those, but it's the more the problem solving, like I said, the things that eat away at your time, that making, you know, 20 graphics a week to put out on social media, or would you rather focus on your customers or your clients that you need to develop that relationship with so that they are willing to continue coming back to you? So for me, it's do you know, are you happy with your website? Are you happy with the engagement on your social media? Are you happy with, you know, is that where you want to be spending your time? Or are there other things that you are needing to spend? I mean, even just your kids or your family and other, but, you know, instead you're spending every waking hour working on your business. I can come in and help. So does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So would you say that the design work aspect, kind of keeping clients on brand, would you say that's your favorite part of what you do?
Yes, I like it when I can create graphics or tailor a website that fits exactly what they want, that they can sit down and say, yes, this was exactly what I was imagining, or this is what I wanted. That feeling for me, that I can know that, well, they're happy with it and that's exactly the direction they wanted to go. And now they don't have to worry about it. It's not on their brain. They're not wondering about it. Oh my gosh, is this going to work? It's let stress go and move on to more important things. So
that's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about what your packages look like? Like what, for those who watch whether live or watching the replay, what sort of offerings do you have? Do you typically target those who are already well established in your business, or do you prefer to work with clients who perhaps need that little bit of help with their branding?
That's a good question. I think I would prefer to work with people who need a little help with their branding. Previous clients, sometimes I would go in and they would ask for graphics, or they would ask for, you know, formatting or something. And it didn't really fit with the theme of their website, but that's what they asked for. And I was happy to, you know, you give the customer what they want. But it's so much nicer when you can step in and say, hey, you know, this is what it is and your theme is, and now let's run with it with everything you've got, instead of, you know, hit or miss. Cohesive that your brand is, and the more cohesive all of the elements of your brand fit together, the more engagement you're going to get. People will begin to, that's what a brand means. They recognize you. They recognize, okay, this post is definitely from this person, or, you know, this website definitely belongs to this one person. That's what you want to eventually get to with branding. So yeah, I do prefer to work with people who might be struggling with that and help bring it all together. In terms of packages, I have right now, and I also do customized packages. So if people are looking to, you know, kind of pick and choose from different aspects, I can do that. One is a WordPress maintenance package, and what that basically is it gives you some hours with me that I can put blog posts up for you that you've written and make sure they're formatted and they have graphics and things like that. Do a monthly newsletter that fits that as well. And it also means things like security and backing up your website, backing up your content, because the worst thing in the world is to wake up one morning and realize that all of your content is gone because of a hacker or a bug or who knows what, and back it up, you won't get it back. It is gone. Kind of what that package is, I have a social media package, which is I do a social media audit for you. I come up with a personalized strategy for how you can increase your engagement, which channels might work better for what you do, because the idea that you need to be on every single channel right off the bat will burn you out. Some channels get better engagement based on what you do. And then I do the posting. I do the graphics and come up with the posts. I can do a complete from scratch WordPress website for you. That includes, customizing a theme, plugins, everything you would need for what your business is. And then I do have what I call a planning and accountability package. And what that is more of the goal setting and on a weekly basis to make sure you're meeting your goals, that you're not getting off track. Because it's something that I struggle with, and I understand how easy it is to say, oh, I want to have 1,000 email subscribers by June, and then come June, you've rabbit trailed into something completely else, and you haven't focused on it, and it's just so.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Like, you can definitely tell you've diversified, and you've diversified well, because it sounds like you have a lot of really awesome things to offer. So it's really exciting, especially this time of year. I see so many people. I mean, I think that's like pretty much everything anyone's talking about is revamping their branding and, starting a new site and planning out the year and that accountability. So I hope and I think that your services are definitely in high need. So I hope that anybody watching this today, like if you're sitting there going, oh, that would be so nice, definitely want to reach out to Megan here, because it sounds like you got a lot of great things going on. Before we go, one last thing, what would be your number one tip as far as helping someone remain productive and really not get stuck down that rabbit hole of, time passing and they're not hitting those goals?
For me personally, and I feel like it does apply to a lot of other people that I've talked to, is I do use, I have a smartphone. I use that to keep track of reminders and appointments and things like that. But there is just something about writing down. I don't know why. I'm sure there's research out there. But I have done bullet journals. I've got a happy planner this year that's a little bit easier with 2 under 3, that I can break it down. I can have weekly goals. I can have monthly goals, and just break that down until my day-to-day is accomplishing what I need in my business. So for me, the productivity tip is to have some form of a notebook or a journal or a planner or something that you are at least hitting at least once a week at least, to set your goals for that week and write down your tasks and be able to look back on previous weeks and say, okay, what have I accomplished? What's fallen through the cracks and I've forgotten about that I actually really need to do. That is my number one tip, is to write it down, because smartphones are great and I would not make it without mine, but they're just, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help the task stick in my brain and help me remember the way pen and paper does. So
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you are totally speaking my language. It's funny because I myself just, Michael's had a Black Friday sale on Happy Planners, and I was like, I have to finally try one out, because I've got journals and stuff. I've tried a few different planners. I made my own planner, of course, that I usually use, but I do love that Happy Planner too. So yes, I love, love, love that. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. I will post in the chat box, as well as in my group, Entrepreneurs Embracing Temerity, the link for the replay on this. And then 2, Megan has been nice enough to offer a 25% discount for 3 months off one of her monthly packages. The discount code is Temerity25. But it's only good until January 5th, excuse me. So again, if you've been sitting here listening to this going, yes, that sounds so amazing, I want that, I need that, hop over to her website. Again, it's rockstarvaservices.com. Check out what she's got going on, and then use that code. Do not wait. Like, now is the time to make 2017 an awesome year, to step into your own spotlight, to really just get help, get accountability, get that support, and finally stop feeling like you're living online. So Megan, thank you so much. Like I said, so much of what you said has resonated so strongly with me, and I know with my listeners and readers as well. So I really appreciate you being here, and again, offering that code for people. I know there's got to be some people out there that will be jumping on that, because it sounds like such a good deal. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hope that baby of yours, well, both babies are doing well. He's so good. My
Yes.
kids would not, even at that age, they would have been so cute.
Well, like I said, as long as he's attached to me right now, he seems to be pretty good. So
Well, that's great. Well, thank you again. And as always, everyone, you can always find me in Entrepreneurs Embracing Temerity. And then, two, that's rockstarvaservices.com to find Megan. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.